Hi everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Now we want to scrape table data using the API approach. And here I've chosen this website. It's ontariohockeyleague.com, and you can see here you find a lot of different hockey information. If you want to, feel free to click a little bit around. For now, what I want to do is I want to click on this players tab, right, after I visit this website, and then I want to extract this data. So you see here, this table is actually full of data. If I scroll all the way down, you see here we can actually navigate to the right side and we see even more data to scrape. But we don't want to have anything here, and the beauty about the API approach is that you see directly and very visually clear what data is available and what data is not available. And what's even better is that inside the API, sometimes you find data which you don't even see here inside this table. Let me show you what I mean. So what do we want to do now? First, let's make a right click, click on inspect. And now here you see that this development tools are opening. I want to go to network. Okay, so let's click on this network tab. And now this is empty. It's not a big deal. Let's check it out and refresh this website here. Okay, and now you see here that we have a few different requests. And what we need to do is we have to take a look what requests we can use to extract the data we want to have. Okay, so for example here, for now I've tried it before, and I know that inside this request we have the data which is interesting for us. So for example here, I want to click on this one, then let's go to site kit. In the next step, let's click on stat view type, okay? And now you see that we have a lot of different data points. For example, let's click on the first one, and you see here, we have the player name, it's Brandon Coe, okay? And this is actually exactly what we see here. So then actually you can be sure that you have all this different information inside an API, which you can use, which also belongs to this player here. All right, let's make a cross check for player number 2. Let's click on the next one. And this player, his name is Matvey Petrov. Okay, it's exactly this guy here. And as you can remember, I told you that sometimes you find information which is not available in the front, right? So for example here, I didn't see where these guys are coming from. Okay, so now here we just have numbers. Let me just scroll down and take a look. I don't see any kind of text element which lets me know where these guys are coming from. But let me make a cross check. Here, for example, you see that this guy here, Matvey Petrov, let's scroll up, and you see here we have information about his home country. It's Russia, and his hometown is Moscow. That means we have a lot more data than what is actually be seen here in the front. And this is actually the beauty about the API approach. But again, every website you want to extract the data from, you have to try it out. Not every website has this kind of beautiful API which you can use for data extraction. Okay, so this was actually the short introduction. What I also have prepared here is this empty notebook. I've also provided the steps with the headings. This is the data we want to extract. So we have the name, age, the height, the games played, goals, points, penalty minutes, and the home country. Okay, so all in all, we have, let me count, we have 8 different data points we want to extract. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So, I mean, this is right now part 3, or let's say the third topic. So the first one was the data extraction with Selenium. Then we worked with Beautiful Soup. And now we want to make use of the API approach. That means I assume that you have already installed these 3 libraries which are important for now. Okay, so here I can actually skip the installation step, and just continue with the imports. Okay, so the first one is import requests. Then we have to import pandas as PD. This is our alias. So import pandas as PD. And finally, we want to import the SQL alchemy. Okay, so this is it. And let's say you started watching this video and you skipped the first one and the second one. Then open your command prompt and type in pip install requests, pip install pandas, and pip install SQL alchemy. Then you should be good to go. After you have done your imports, click on run the cell. You don't see an error message. That means this worked successfully. Okay, next one. We have to take a look how to be able to make use of this API information using Python and this IDE here. Okay, let's see how this actually works. So what we need to do is here you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 requests. Now we know that this request is the correct one. Let's make a right click, go to copy, then go to copy as curl. Okay, click on this one. Now open a new window and search for curl converter. Okay, search for it. And here I've made the experience that this one works very good. So it's onlinedevtools.in. Click on this link. And now you can actually paste what you have copied. Okay, so this is what we want to paste here. And now instead of Node.js, which is the default, click on the drop down, go to Python, click on convert. And this is right now what we want to copy here. Okay, highlight everything with Ctrl A, Ctrl C to copy it, back to our notebook and paste it here. And now we should be good to go. The only modification is I want to delete this import statement because here we have done this before. This is number 1. And then if I scroll down, you see here we have 4 lines of comments. This is also unnecessary. Let me just remove it. And now we should be good to go. All right. Let me just run this cell here. And this should actually be fine. In the next step, we want to check the status code because you see here in the last row, we have made our request, okay, and stored the results inside the response variable. Now let's go ahead and make use of the response variable. And you see here, we see this number 200. That means we have successfully made our request. This is it. Okay, next step. We have to create a JSON object. Let's see how this actually works. What we need to do here is the following. Let's type in response.json, okay? And I want to store this stuff inside another variable. Let's go for results_JSON, okay? So this is it. Let's store it like this. And now in the next step, we can go ahead and interact with this website or with the website's structure or with the website's data, okay? So let me show you what I mean by this. Here we see that now the first key is the site kit, okay? Let's see how to get access to this one. And after I click, for example, on SiteKit, we see that we have 3 more keys. And this is the next one, which is interesting for us. Okay, so after SiteKit, we have to navigate to stat view type. And the same things you can do inside the Jupyter Notebook. This is why we have actually done this part here. Okay, so that we can actually grab the data directly from our notebook. Okay, so output keys. What do we need to do? Let's go for results JSON.keys. Let's click on enter. And you see here that now we see this key here, okay, which is again exactly this one. And this looks actually fine. So what do we have to do next? Here we have again the data we want to extract. Okay. And now let's go ahead and see how to get access to the first row. Let's take a look now. It's the following. So we have to provide another variable here. Let's say it's results equals to results JSON. Okay. With this key element here, you can just copy it from here, paste it here, and let's run this. Okay. Now you don't see anything because it's stored inside this variable here. And now in the next step, as we see here, we have to traverse down to stat view type. Let's see. Okay, I can copy it. Control C. Okay. And then I want to paste it directly here. So we start with this key, then we go to this key, click again on run the cell. And now we can take a look how many results we actually have. Okay, let's see. So we can use the length function. This is the variable, right? Let's run this, and you see here we have 100 results, which is exactly what we want to see here. So let's take a look. We start with index number 0 all the way down until 99. That means all in all we have 100 results. Same here. We start with player number 1. So let me just scroll all the way down, and number 100 is here. Okay, so what does this mean? That means we have stored all the 100 results inside this variable here. Okay, this is, let's say, our starting point. And I guess to make it a little bit more transparent, let me just cut it off and paste it here. Okay, so let's say this is our starting point. Actually, this is my way of calling it. You don't have to name it like this, but for me it makes sense because now we see that here we have 100 results. All right, cool. And now let's use the starting point and let's see how to get access to the first row. So first of all, let's make it like this. Everything step by step. First and foremost, we want to extract all these 8 data points for row number 1. And then in the next step, we will write a simple for loop and append all the results of all 100 rows inside separate lists. Okay, but first of all, one by one. Okay, so results with the index 0. What do we want to see here? So let me just scroll up, open results with number 0. And we want to make use of, so let me just scroll down, of this name key here. Okay, so let's make a double click, copy this one. And then I want to go back to the notebook and paste the key directly here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So paste it here, don't forget the quotes. And now let's run this cell here. And this is what I wanted to show you. Brandon Co. is the name of the first player. It's this one. Okay, and here we have successfully made access to this key element so we can extract this value. All right. And this is actually the logic behind it. Next one, let's go ahead and copy results with index number 0. And now we want to get the player's age. That means I have to take a look where I actually can find his age here. So let's scroll up or scroll down. We have to search for it because we have a lot of data. And you see in this example, we have it here. Okay, so here, this age key is what we need in order to get access to this value. In this example, it's 20. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So here we have age, run the cell, it's 20, this is correct. And you see here, this is actually the whole logic behind it. So to make it, or to save some time, let me just copy results with index number 0 and paste it directly here. Okay, everywhere inside every data point, because this is, yeah, for every time this is the first starting point. Okay, next one is the height. Let's see how to get access to the player's height. Let's scroll down, and here we see this is the height. Okay, that means you can just go ahead, copy that back to the notebook and paste it here. Run this. This is the information. Then we have the games played. Let's scroll down. Let's take a look, or scroll up. It's here. Okay, games underscore played is the key element. Let's copy it. Control C. Back to the notebook. Paste it here. Okay, that's it. Afterwards, we have the goals. Let's take a look. It's this one. Double click on this key element. Copy it. Paste it here. This is it. Then we have the points. Let's scroll down, take a look. Where do we find this points information? It's here, right? Double click on this one. Copy this with Control C and paste it directly here. All right. Then we have the penalty minutes. It is, let me just take a look. It's here, penalty minutes. Double click, copy and paste here. Okay, right. And finally, we have the home country, which is this one. Okay, this is the key element. Double click, copy it, and paste it right now here. All right, this is actually what we want to see. Okay, so, and also in order to show you that we can change the index, let's say I want to take a look at player number 10. Okay, that means I have to go for index number 9 because we start counting from 0. Let's run this one. It's Brennan Ottman. And if I take a look here, player number 10, it's Brennan Ottman. Okay, so this logic will be applied to all 100 rows. Okay, so this is actually what I wanted to show you. This is the way how we can interact with the website's API. Okay, and I would say I can make a cut right now. And in the next step, we want to put everything together and we want to loop, sorry, it's not lop, it's loop, through the results and append all the data inside separate lists. Okay, this was just a short example how to interact with a certain index. And now we want to get access to all the data. Okay, so stay tuned and I see you in a few moments.